Good evening. Welcome to Freedom High Graduation Ceremonies 2014. My name is Vivia Sparkler, and I have the good fortune to be the principal at Freedom High School, and I am delighted to celebrate this evening with you and honor our graduates and their accomplishments. To begin our ceremony, please stand while the graduates enter and remain standing for the national anthem performed by student Corel Mandrano and teacher Sarah Lynn.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Corel and Sarah. That was great. Graduates, go ahead and sit. Here we are, at the end of one journey and the beginning of another. And it's really important at that time to take a look at and reflect at what brought us to this point. And when I took time and reflected on this class, there were three things that became what it seemed like were essential factors into these graduates coming to this place and their success. One of these essential factors bringing these students to graduation is their support system. That team of people that works together and separately to provide guidance and support, and sometimes confrontation, sometimes gently, and sometimes not very gently at all, I think, and to get them on task, doing what they need to do, focused on what their goal is to graduate. There are many of these team members here tonight, and I'm going to take a little time and announce them and thank them for what they do. To start with, I'd like to introduce the team that takes care of running a school district, while the rest of us can focus on this individual school and these individual graduates. So if you would please stand while I announce your name, I'd appreciate that. Albuquerque Public Schools Board Member, Mr. Lorenzo Garcia. Associate Superintendent for Elementary Education, Raquel Reedy. It all starts in elementary, you know, so it's very important in this point. Okay? Chief of Staff for the Office of Superintendent, Joseph Escobedo. We thank you all for being here tonight, taking the time to join us, and we appreciate your support for alternative schools. Okay. Parents and guardians and other home support, you have been with our graduates the longest. It is you who understand better than anyone the challenges that they have faced and what it took for them to be here tonight. Please stand, parents at home support, so we can acknowledge you for the many years that you have worked toward this day, this graduation. Stand, parents. Come on, parents, stand up. We thank you for your constant communication and support in getting to this place. At Freedom High, every student is assigned an advisement class and an advisor when they come. They go through an interview process and they're assigned to an advisor and a class that meets every day. However, it doesn't take them very long to realize that not only is that advisor their support system, but every staff member at Freedom, from secretaries to custodians, to teachers, to the counselor, to social workers, all of us, even the principal, work hard at this day happening for these students. And so I'm going to announce those folks that are on stage tonight, and I would like you to hold your applause till the end so that we have time to work on your diplomas, getting them for you, okay? All right. So staff, please stand as I call your name and remain standing. Counselor Mark Davidson. Hold your applause. Student advisors and teachers, Bill Caskey, John Potter, Charlie Fixico, who is also the Dean of Students, Carrie Renshaw, Jeannie Jurgensen, Alicia Rouge-Flynn, Sarah Lynn, Melanie Tejas, Paula Rimmer, Patrick Carey, Amanda Shaw, and Richard Faust. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Thank you, staff. You can see. There are several staff members in the audience as well. They just were too shy to be on stage, so. Graduates, you have accepted this support that was offered to you, and you have not stopped there. This graduating class has organized and participated in a long list of services to others, service projects to other peoples. This service demonstrates their social awareness as well as their kindness and ability to support other people. I see this as the second essential factor that led to this graduation day. They have, I'm going to go through the list here, they have planned and prepared meals for families at Ronald McDonald House. They have cleaned school grounds to show appreciation for our custodians and make it nicer for all the rest of us. They have collected hats for children with cancer. They have organized a very successful blood drive to the point that we've been asked to do it twice next year. They have collected food for the Roadrunner Food Bank. They have collected toys for the children's unit at UNM Hospital. They have created holiday stockings for children at the Albuquerque Children's Home. They have organized a Freedom Olympics on testing days, which relieved the testing pressures for underclassmen. They implemented a school-wide recycling program. They collected hygiene products for Joy Junction, facilitated a school-wide flower delivery, sending message of appreciation to each other, where they get a flower and a positive message or a thank you. They made litter boxes for the Animal Humane Society, and they donated lunch for veterans in need. They've done a lot of things this year. Okay. It hasn't stopped there. They also help one another. As I go around and observe classes, I also observe students. And what I see is a group of young people that are ready to help each other. And they don't just stop and give each other the answer, which is the easy thing to do. They help the person who's maybe having difficulty understanding walk through the process so they come up with their own answer. They take the time and they care, and that's important. So, the last essential factor that brings us to graduation is that moment when the student makes a conscious choice to do what it takes academically to graduate. It's what we celebrate here tonight. You and I, parents and friends and staff, we can see it in their eyes, and it is reflected in their words and their actions, and it is different than all the times they said it before, when it really happens and it really kicks in. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, that momentum then is pretty unstoppable and unmistakable as they move toward graduation. They make it happen, and they graduate tonight. And so, tonight, graduates, we honor and celebrate the skills that you have gained and the skills that you have shared with each other, and ultimately, the completion of this journey through high school. You have accomplished. Okay? It is time to hear from a few of our graduates who have chosen to share their stories with you, and so our teacher and advisor, Richard Faust, will introduce our student speakers. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming. If you look at your program, you'll notice there's a great picture of Shakespeare on there that was painted by one of the graduating class. And right underneath it, there is a quote from the play Hamlet. This above all, to thine own self be true. And it then follows, as the night doth the day, thou canst not be false to any man. This has become kind of a truism. I mean, this is something that Benjamin Franklin reused in Poor Richard's Almanac. It's something you hear all the time, and part of the reason it's used in this play is Polonius is this sort of doddering old man to some degree, and the delivering of this advice that is stock advice is seen to make him not necessarily the ultimate advisor that he thinks of himself to be. But it's not wrong. This above all to thine own self be true. This is a Freedom High School graduation, okay? Every single student on this stage, they came here from somewhere else. They pursued their education in a setting of their choice in a way to make them as successful as they could possibly be. They all chose to be true to who they were, and they came here to be successful in that endeavor. And that took a lot of guts, so they all deserve a big round of applause for that. You're about to hear 4 stories of those journeys to our stage tonight. And the literature lesson for the evening is done, so you can all just relax. Our first speaker for the evening has been described by faculty as inquisitive, intelligent, and driven. I'll second that driven and probably put an asterisk or a squared sign or something on there. This is a very driven young lady. She has plans to go to college, get a master's, teach history at a collegiate level, and write books so that other people could teach history from the books that she has written. And when she was in my English classes, and she was in, I think, all of them at some point in time, she was always looking to make her essay 100% perfect. She would revise essays 4 and 5 times. She would ask for extra essay prompts so she could do extra work. A very driven young lady. Part of this stems from a desire to be finished with freedom as soon as she could, so she could begin concurrently enrolling, begin attending college. So anyway, our first speaker of the evening is Miss Jessica Roberts.
Thank you, Richard. Hi, I'm Jessica Roberts. As you said, I'm a little too short for this. Okay, so I came from a school of about 2,000 students in total, with classes of at least 25 or more. The volume of the students in each class made it difficult to have any sort of relationship with your teachers, and as such, I think it's something that, this is the wrong copy, Richard. It is.
I'm a horrible person. I really apologize.
Okay, so let's start over.
Yeah, because the one that I have is in 12-point font as opposed to 3. I'm sorry.
So, like I said, I came from a school with around 2,000 students total, with classes of at least 25 or more. The volume of students in each class made it difficult to have any sort of relationship with my teachers, and as such, there was less of a focus on the actual schoolwork going on, less attention paid by my teachers, and more of a chance for me to fall behind in school. I enrolled at Freedom hoping to find a fresh start after severely falling behind. Freedom High School offers a small population of students and teachers, which makes it easier to have a relationship with your teachers. And having a close relationship with the adults in charge of your education makes it easier, or makes it impossible, actually, to slip through the cracks and fall behind in school. Every teacher here has their own way of pushing each student to succeed, and they all actually care about the success of their students. While I was making progress at first, I still didn't have the motivation I needed to really work towards graduation itself. I was distracted by my own period of personal adversity. I was lazy and I made excuses for myself. And I failed to show up to class on a very regular basis. However, after watching my boyfriend Marlon and my best friend Kayla both graduate before me, I finally got it in my head that I wanted to graduate as quickly as possible. Seeing them both on this stage last year really opened my eyes to my own potential, which had been going to waste. I decided to use that potential and push myself to earn as many points as I could in order to finish as quickly as possible. I owe a great deal of gratitude to Carrie Renshaw, who is my advisor here for my time here at Freedom. In my opinion, she was the most appropriate advisor for me. She was tough on me, and she didn't take my excuses. She called me out when I needed it. Like every advisor at Freedom, she paid close attention to my strengths and weaknesses, and she didn't let me fall short where she knew I could do very well, but she also helped me when I did need it. And as a teacher, Carrie was very much an inspiration for me. She inspired me to attend UNM and become a history teacher myself in the fall. And a few other teachers that I had the pleasure of spending a lot of my school day with deserve recognition as well. Melanie is one of the most compassionate teachers I've ever had. She teaches with her whole heart, and she always inspires each student to pick themselves up and to do the best they can. Melanie is a teacher that makes a bad day better, and she makes her students look forward to coming to class. Richard holds the most entertaining class of all APS, if you can imagine that. But he keeps his students interested in the curriculum, and he has a very good way of showing his students a different perspective on everything that he teaches. And he inspires students to look further into things and to develop diverse opinions about several topics. And Richard inspires his students to grow as intellectual beings as well. He inspires me personally to get as much of an education as this life allows and to become a well-rounded and extremely knowledgeable person in anything that I do. And all of these teachers here at Freedom are so valuable to the institution of education. They're what makes Freedom High School so wonderful. And in my own career as a teacher, I plan to incorporate the aspects of each teacher here into my own style. I hope I can adopt the qualities that these adults have and use them in my career. I hope that I can be the best teacher that I can when that time comes. And if I could be half the teacher that any of these great people are, I would be satisfied with myself, and I would also be proud to say that I got it all from Freedom High School. And I also hope to teach at a school like Freedom, which is now, and I'm really excited to say this, my alma mater. Thank you, guys.
Hi. So, that was Jessica Roberts. Fantastic speech despite my greatest efforts to ruin what she was trying to say. So, our next speaker has been described as being very caring and dedicated, and she is a very, very compassionate person. As such, she has chosen to pursue a career in the field of nursing, not because she wants to be making $1 million or wants any sort of recognition from society, but because she wants to help people at their lowest. She wants to make people's lives better. And right now, she's going to start by making your lives better with her speech. Ms. Martina Mares.
Okay. Hello, my name is Martina Manes. Words cannot even come close to explain how much of an honor and privilege it is to be speaking for all of you today. It is ironic that on a day like this, when we're entering into adulthood, we can all be best described from a quote from Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the only one who will decide where to go. Most graduation speeches begin explaining how the graduating class enter the doors of their high school as little freshmen together. And within 4 years, they all grew as one. Freedom High School is very different from these other high schools. We all entered Freedom at different times and for different reasons. One thing I do know for a fact is coming to the school was the best decision I've ever made. This program allowed me to work at my own pace and to take ownership of my learning. Not all of us entered this school at the same age or grade level, but we all were striving for the same goal, to call ourselves high school graduates. From a young age, we were told, you could be whatever you want to be. I never fully grasped this concept until now that I'm standing before my family, friends, and fellow graduates today. If you were to ask me this question of, what do you want to be when you grow up? When I was 6, my response would have been a ballerina, because having no teeth, it's difficult to pronounce ballerina. Then, as the years went on, this question became a little more serious. At age 14, my answer would have simply been a hairdresser. And now at age 18, this question could not be any more frightening. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do I want to be when I grow up? The answer to this question that I have for you today is, I don't know. I've came a long way from ballerinas and know that it's okay not to be sure. We are all at the age where we can put our minds to anything, and we can set a goal for ourselves to be a doctor. But if that does not work out, we can set a different goal and keep redirecting ourselves forward. We have all gotten this far and now could go further by looking at ourselves and saying that we did it. We succeeded a challenge that many have not, so why not pursue anything that we want to? One thing that we can all take from attending Freedom High School is that it's okay to make a mistake. I've made plenty. The school has helped me mature enough to accept my faults and learn from them. Every student at Freedom has had someone to support them every step of the way while entering into adulthood. If those people are your friends, family, or even down to the amazing faculty at Freedom, they have been there to lend a hand or ear or a shoulder, and we all owe these people a debt of gratitude. With all this being said, it is my honor to tell you all to walk out these doors not worrying what will happen tomorrow. but to take it day by day with the knowledge that you can succeed at any task. Thank you for this privilege, and congratulations, class of 2014.
All right. Our next speaker has been described by the staff as always smiling, which she is. She's probably smiling now, although most of them are, so you probably couldn't pick her out yet. And she has this ability to persevere through tough times. I have described her as Knuckles. She has this earring of brass knuckles in her ear, which I always thought was just really incongruous because she's such a sweet girl, so very, very pleasant all the time. And so I was saying this ironically, as if it were a joke. I came to find out, however, that she has a spine of steel. She is tough, and if she sets her mind to something, she will persevere and make it happen. Your next speech, Ms. Dominique Landau.
We all came to freedom for different reasons, but we share one reason in common. We came to freedom to grow in our life's journey and accomplish graduating from high school. It wasn't easy for any of us, but we overcame all of our obstacles. My name is Dominique Landau, and I came to freedom in my junior year. Unfortunately, freedom wasn't my first choice. A tragedy had happened in my family which caused me to be a couple months behind, and I felt I was going downhill within every aspect of my life. At the time, I was attending a large, comprehensive high school. Due to the size of the school, the administration had no understanding for my situation and expected me to do my current work as well as all the work I had missed in the past months. I predicted I would not graduate on time, which made me not want to finish high school. This led me on a search for another high school that could help me through my struggles and push me to succeed in high school. While I was looking into other schools, Freedom seemed to be the one. I liked that it was self-paced, meaning if I worked hard, graduate on time. I had never been to a school where the teachers actually wanted to help you graduate and did not make you feel like you were just another student. Freedom understood your struggles, the struggle students go through. During my experience at Freedom, I excelled in all of my courses. I turned into an A student. It was difficult at times. I needed help in every course I took, and every one of my teachers were happy to help. I went from being a few months behind to only needing to take one class my last semester. The last class I took was a dual credit class. This was a big deal for me. I never thought I could succeed in a college setting, still being in high school. And once again, I aced the class. Being at Freedom helped me realize I could succeed in anything, no matter what obstacles was in the way. I want to thank all of my teachers for not only helping me, but believing in me. The first teacher I would like to thank is Richard, the greatest English teacher I've ever had, for always pushing me to do my best work, always making sure I was on track, and knowing that I can go to you with any complications that I'm having. I also want to thank Paula, my advisor, for understanding my situation and acknowledging my accomplishments at Freedom. Most importantly, I want to thank every single one of my family members for always believing in me, pushing me towards my success, and always being there for me when I need you. I couldn't have possibly done it without you guys. We all found our own way to freedom, and we all overcame our obstacles. We have the power to accomplish any goals and dreams in our lives. As we accomplish our goal by getting our diplomas today, a new door opens and a new goal begins. To some, that may be getting a degree, going straight into the workforce, or starting a family. Whatever it may be, I wish us all the best in our journey that we call life. Congratulations, class of 2014. We did it.
Yes, she was. Our last speaker for the evening has been described as generous, caring, humorous, and you'll see some of that shortly. She has plans after graduating to pursue her own business. She wants to open a bakery and be an entrepreneur. So she has had her own share of adversity to overcome, as has everyone on this stage, but I'm not going to spoil her speech for you. Last, but certainly not least, Ms. Nadia Norastani. I swear to God, that's the right.
Dear fellow students, parents, and staff, we are gathered here today to celebrate a special event. Today marks a milestone, not only in my life, but yours as well, as it felt that this day would never come. My name is Nadia Norastani. Although I was born in the US, my family came from a country where some women are deprived of basic rights, like the ability to attend school on a daily basis. In Afghanistan, schools, people, and buildings got bombed, and the war got so bad, my family had to get out of the country to survive. Survival and personal struggle are the main theme of the students that attend Freedom, which is why it has been harder not only for me, but for all of us to get to this point. At my old school, I just could not keep up with everything and found myself falling more and more behind each day. By the end of my junior year of high school, I had given up on trying to do well in school and was slowly losing interest in even being at school. However, when I came to Freedom, I was quickly shown the resilience of students is the key in getting them graduated and out in the real world. I can honestly say, a year ago, I had no intentions of graduating, which makes me happy that I stayed persistent. It has been a long 5 years, but I made it, you made it, we all made it, and that's what really matters. At Freedom, the teachers and advisors actually work with you in order to create a graduation plan and what is needed to stay on track with your graduation. Therefore, I would like to thank all the parents, teachers, and staff members for being very supportive and attending this grand event tonight. There are a few people, however, I would specifically like to acknowledge. From my first day at Freedom to my very last day of school, my advisor and math teacher, Alicia, has helped me achieve graduation, and I would like to thank her. It has been a long journey, from all the after-school tutoring to all the insane testing, to me thinking of giving up and her showing me how close I was, and all the way to her cheering me on as I mastered each and every objective I was required. For she not only taught me all the possible etiquette I will eventually need in life, but I was also taught that stress is good for you. And I will forever keep that in my mind. Freedom has the best English department in New Mexico. I would also like to thank my fabulous English teacher, Melanie, for teaching me how to write a proper essay. Before I had Melanie's class, I didn't even know how to structure a proper essay, and now I can do simply with no hesitation. So thank you for that. I'm very grateful I was able to have Melanie as a teacher. She not only taught me English, but about life, setting goals, and the pursuit of happiness. A year ago, I wouldn't have dreamt of a day where I could be speaking at a graduation representing my school. Now, thanks to Freedom, I have overcome my obstacles and fears, and thankfully, Richard has been available to support my speech and have given me confidence to stand before you today. The science department at Freedom is superb. Thank you to my science teacher, Paula, for teaching me that there is a difference between velocity and speed. Without you, I would still probably think velocity is the definition of speed. I have learned more in these 2 science classes that I've learned in my whole 3 years of science at my old school. It has always been a pleasure to go to her class because she not only made the class subject interesting, but challenging as well. We all have our weak subjects, and physics was not my strong suit. However, Paula had been so patient with me and really broke down how it works. Art is a department in itself at Freedom. Last but not least, I would like to thank the art teacher, Sarah. Even though I never had her as a teacher, she had helped me a great time throughout the year, from lending me art supplies for making posters, to giving me great feedback and encouraging me to write and present this speech to you all today. She is a very funny, talented, and stylish teacher. And I highly recommend anyone that needs elective credits to take her class next year. None of this would be possible without the support of our family and friends. I would also like to thank my family for encouraging me to stay in school and pushing me way past my limits. But I now realize that all the hard work has paid off. I know I haven't been the easiest child to raise, and I have made many bad decisions, but I just wanted to say I'm very thankful to have such a loving and supportive family. Also, I would like to thank my boyfriend for being there, supporting me from the beginning to the very end. The past 7 months has been pretty tough, and graduating wasn't really an idea, I guess, in the beginning of the year. And for the past 7 months, he's been there to push me and support me. And also, he lent me books and helped me with questions. So thank you for that. And just thank you. Life is a long journey with many unexpected trials and tribulations along the way. But I have learned that with people to support you and a lot of work, you can achieve the unexpected. A year ago, many of us did not expect to be here, and yet we are, as high school graduates. Congratulations, the class of 2014. Thank you.
Great job, ladies. You did a very challenging thing, which is to come up and share your personal stories. So thank you all again. So graduates, we now come to a time when we will honor your academics. So graduates, we will now certify your diplomas, and your new journey as high school graduates is about to begin. So let's please stand, graduates. Mr. Lorenzo, will you join me at the podium? Mr. Garcia, I would like to present the class of 2014. These students have met all of the graduation requirements as set forth by the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education, along with the New Mexico Public Education Department. To you, I present the Freedom High School class of 2014.
Thank you. On behalf of the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education, we accept this class. Congratulations, you all.
Okay. Mark Davidson will call the graduates to receive their diplomas. And Charlie Fixico, the Dean of Students, will help me. I have an injury to my shoulder, so he will present the diplomas and shake their hands. So here we go. You may sit, graduates. Oh, staff and everybody, please come on up to congratulations.
All right, here we go. Karen Valeria Aguirre. Jessica Bates. Talisa M. Benali. Sierra Destiny Borjas White. Adrian D. Chavez. Brian C. Kaufman. Justice V. Cousins. Madison Marie Dethorn. Samantha Ray Duran. Cody Edwin Feltman. Mariah A. Fishercorn. Anaí Franco. Ulises Javier Garcia. Esteban Antonio Garza. Amber April Gatica. Jacob Christian Griego. Brandon James. Mitchell Chase Johnson. Brittany Marie Kennedy. Ariel Judith Gonzalez. Elise Michelle Krenzel. Dominique Kirsten Ann Lando. Ashley Nicole Lemelin. Yannick Thomas Laurie. Martina M. Mares. Shannon T. Martin. Angie Medina. Sarah Mehmedi. Deidre M. Montoya. Nicholas F. Mora. Nadia Nuristani. Kashmir Rain Packer. Nicole R. Pohl. Juan Arturo Ramirez. Cecily X. Ramos. Hunter Bidell. Jessica Pearl Roberts. Baraket J. Rose. Adam Gregory Rougemont. Asa Donald Ruth. Jacob S. Sanchez. Brian Douglas Smith, Jr. Kaylin Erin Marie Smith. Sequoia Moon Teneker. Antoinette Marie Thompson. Jesse Tristan Troncosa. Katia Alejandra Valenciano. Eldon Jim Willis. Dustin T. Woods. Joseph Crowder. Matthew Allen Woods.
Thank you, Mark and Charlie. Charlie for being my right-hand man there. Stole Richard's joke. So graduates, please stand. Graduates, you may move your tassels from right to left. Graduates, we at Freedom High send you to your futures with confidence and pride. We know that you are academically prepared, socially aware, and kind. We believe that whatever you choose in your future, the class of 2014 will make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the class of Freedom High School 2014. Guests, if you please would remain seated or remain in the auditorium until the graduates have exited.